Shalom. All praises goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from. Peace, salutation, blessings, and mercies to the elect that are scattered all over the earth. The true name of the Most High, who the world ignorantly calls God, is Yahweh, meaning He exists. The true name of His beloved Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, is Yahweh Shai, meaning He delivered. Those are their true names in the ancient Hebrew tongue, the holy tongue. And you Israelites, the true Israelites, are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. A remnant of you will be saved. And we'll start here in Isaiah 45:7. This will be another quick upload, Lord's will. It be edifying. And going into the Most High has control of all. All right. So don't be afraid of these threats, these mandates. Don't be afraid of what Esau is doing. We can't be afraid because we know through the scriptures, and we'll get those scriptures, that all Esau is the Most High's instrument. All right. His tool, his sword to punish the wicked. But if you're on the Most High's good list, all right, on His good side, then you have nothing to worry about, because this devil was created for nothing but punishment. All right, so in these last days, if you are Israelite and you repented and you've been putting on the elect and doing those good works, you have nothing to fear. You nothing to worry about what this devil got going on. So, lucky, my throat's a little scratchy today, but this is Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. All right. So the spiritual entity Satan, he works for the Most High, and you get an understanding on that reading Job, the first chapter. All right. So the Most High created all through His Son Yahweh Shai. All right. Even the wicked. Even Satan, even those demons, even Esau, Edom, and the heathen nations, they were all created for punishment. All right. Let's get another precept. One we always get dealing with the ICBMs, but just to furthermore prove this point, in Isaiah 54:16. It says, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. All right, so whatever this devil comes with, all right, his ICBMs, his Maxines, his Mark of the Beast, in that RFID chip, all right, his 5G towers, any weapon this devil creates, microwave guns. Hey, the Most High said He created the smith. All right, He put in His mind to do all those things. And then verse 17, for the elect, if you're on the Most High's good side, you don't even got to worry about it. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. Why? Because the Most High controls. He controls all. It says, in every tongue that shall rise against thee, in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. All right, and the servants of the Lord are the elect, starting with the elect men, the 144,000 prophets. All right, now let's go. I know I'm hitting these precepts pretty quick. All right, so let's stay in Isaiah. All right, this is the third scripture we'll get in Isaiah. Isaiah 10:5. All right, it says, look at the title here, the Lord's use of Assyria. And what's the modern day Assyria? America, Babylon the Great, the hammer of the earth, that's strong, so-called strong and boasts itself in its military might. Well, when you look at the ancient world, Assyria was that. All right, Assyria had the strongest military, and in fact, a lot of modern warfare, tactics come from the Assyrians. All right, and even the ancient empires after Assyria mimicked their ways, how they moved. All right, certain tactics. But the point is, the modern day Assyria, the modern day Assyrian, just like the modern day Egyptian, the modern day Babylonian, is America. You Americans, starting with the Edomite that rule America. But so this is Isaiah 10 and 5. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. All right, so this is the Lord's doing. All right, this devil, this so-called white man, he's a tool. He's the whooping stick of the Most High, like brothers always say. Let's just see what this says in the NLT real fast. Isaiah 10 and 5 in the NLT, it says, what sorrow awaits Assyria, the rod of mine anger? I use it as a club to express my anger. And that's how the Most High uses the so-called white man, as a club to express his anger. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you broke the law, statutes, and commandments, the covenant you made with the Most High. So what did he do? He sent the so-called white man at you, all right, to express his anger. Packed you up on cargo slave ships, made you serve a brutal slavery, all right, hung you up on gallows, which are trees, all right. What else did he feed your baby to alligators? The so-called white man did all that, but the Most High was using him as punishment. All right, and that's the point. Now let's get some more precepts, because remember that this lesson is for the elect really, and not to fear this devil. All right, keep in mind that the Most High controls him. The Most High controls Satan. He controls these demons. All right, he controls whether you live or die, and if you die, how you die. All right, and if you're going to be saved or not. Just keep that in mind constantly. When that fear demon comes upon you. All right, you got to rebuke that, combat it with these precepts. Now let's go to Psalm. Speaking of that, we got a perfect example in King David. Psalm 17 and 13. Listen to what King David says. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked. And who's the wicked? Pursuing the Malachi 1 and 4 and Job 9 and 24, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, according to who's ruling the earth right now and who covered up everything with the lie. The so-called white man, Esau, Edom. He's the wicked. So deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right, just like we read in Isaiah 10 and 5. All right, the Most High uses this devil to express his anger for punishment. That's it. But what did King David say? Arise and disappoint him, cast him down, deliver us from him. All right, and King David was of the Most High's elect. So we got to have this same mind frame. King David wasn't in fear. In the time of his trouble and distress, what did he do? He called on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Well, he just called on Yahweh at the time, and he was delivered. But for us, it will be Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And it's funny that this is Psalm 17 and 13. And the very next verse in the very next chapter, Psalm 18. Thanksgiving for deliverance. All right, and King David was basically praising the Lord and honoring him for delivering him out of the hand of all his enemies, including King Saul. All right, this is a good read, this whole chapter. This is the mind frame we got to be in, especially in these times now more than ever. All right, so I'm going to end it off in Romans. Just a reminder to be wise out here as well. Wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. It goes into that too. The point is in verse 3, but I might as well start from the top, because actually a lot of wicked, evil-ass pastors are going to use this to justify taking the jab and taking the mark of the beast without really breaking down the true understanding of what this is saying. So this is Romans 13. It says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. All right, so we got the precepts on how, this devil Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is the Most High's whooping stick, his weapon. All right, He uses them as a club for punishment to express his anger. And he's the power that be right now. All right, now we're to obey him in the sense of, follow his laws. And it makes sense. You can't run a red light. Things like that. But when it comes to, doing something that's contrary to the Most High's law, okay, now that's a different story. The Most High's law is above this devil and his law. This is just talking about don't be a menace to society and a maniac. Don't go around running red lights, going in the oncoming traffic, all right, running up in stores and just stealing a whole bunch of shit, destroying, people's property. That's not wise at all. All right. And in fact, certain of those things I mentioned are against the law of the Most High. But if this devil puts out a mandate saying that you need to take this jab or you need to take his mark, his chip, okay, then that's when, all that goes out the window, because that would be transgressing against the Most High. All right. But continuing on in verse 2, it says, whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. All right. So if you decide to form a coup, a militia, like certain idiots we all know, and you try to carnally take this devil out and rebel against his system, we're rebelling against his system spiritually. But you actually got dudes out there that's trying to rebel carnally, taking up weapons. If you doing that, you disobeying the word of the Most High, because the Most High commanded us to wait for him, wait for his son Yahawashi to come seek vengeance. All right, that's the patience of the saints. All right, expecting Yahawashi to come, who's soon to come and take this devil out. We're not to do nothing but preach this word and endure. All right, suffer. Okay, and that's our punishment. Because we all went off. We all committed sins worthy of death. So the Most High is fair. Like, okay, I'll have mercy, but here's what you need to do. You need to call upon my name in the time of your trouble, and you need to wait and suffer affliction, persecution, and I'll deliver you out of it. That's the Most High's words to us. It says, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. And we got examples in these scriptures. All right, of the Sakari and certain other individuals who tried to rebel against the Romans, and they got put to death. All right, they had to flee into the mountains. Certain of them starved to death, cannibalism. All right, and even in these times, certain dudes arrested, put to death, shot up by the police. That happens all the time. That whole BLM movement, because these cops is gunning these Jakes down, these Israelites, so-called black people. All right, well, when you look at those recordings, they deserve it, because all them niggas was rebellious niggas, rebellious against the Most High and rebellious to society, menace, carnally rebellious to society, just straight up menaces. All right, a lot of them, when the cops pulled them over, they was arguing with them, resisting. So they got put to death. And guess who did that? The Most High, because he controls. The Most High put in that cop's mind to pull that trigger. Because like we read in Isaiah 10 and 5, that's how the Most High expresses his anger, through this devil, through the powers that be. All right, here's the point I wanted to get in verse 3. It says, for rulers, all right, and who's ruling right now in this devil? Esau. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. All right, so if you in this truth and you doing what you supposed to do, all right, and you ain't acting as a nigga, when the cops pull you over, you should be completely calm. You should be comfortable. All right, and the cops should be comfortable off your spirit. Why? Because they're not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Because that's what they were created for, to punish you evil, wicked-ass niggas, you 2/3, who are out here having an evil eye towards your brother, all right, committing adultery, doing witchcraft and sorcery by selling these drugs, and all sorts of other wickedness you into. All right, so the cops were created to shoot you niggas up and to lock you up in prison. but not for us that are doing these good works in this truth. It says, "Wilt thou then be afraid of the power?" No, we have nothing to fear, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is in control. And if you truly serving him out of sincerity and truth and worshiping him and depending on him, you have nothing to worry about. Your only expectation should be salvation out of every situation. It says, "Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid." So these 2/3, these wicked niggas, all right, they got something to fear. It says, "For he beareth not the sword in vain." Nah, that's his blessing. And the modern day sword is, his guns and his weaponry. All right, when you go back to Esau, Edom in Genesis, Isaac blessed him with the sword. And he bears it not in vain. He gonna use it. It says, "For he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger." All right, because the Most High has to execute vengeance upon you evil, wicked ass niggas too, that turned his son over to the Romans. All right, that said, "Let his blood be upon us and our children." All right, that got the prophets, disciples who became apostles, put to death. All right, that's out here worshiping these idols to the Most High's face. All right, so that the Most High got to enact vengeance upon you niggas. It says, "A revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil." All right, "Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake." All right, and that's it right there. That concludes this lesson. Lord's will, it was edifying. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well and who taught us well. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.